he's a guy that he didn't invent the term, the process. He didn't invent next man up.
No, but he should patent it right now.
He should, and he ought to get that absolutely trademarked. He didn't invent the idea of being playing hard, disciplined, tough football. None of these buzzwords and philosophies and all that. What he has done though is what I believe a lot of coaches don't achieve, is that he's actually gotten a group of players on this team to really honestly believe in it, believe in him, believe in everything that he's got going on, and it's not a bunch of, you just don't roll your eyes like, oh my God, what's this guy talking about? And let's face it, I know, coaching is a very delicate thing. It can go quickly the other way on you if things aren't working. And let's face it, some of the things that Sean has done are kind of things that reminiscent of what a high school coach might do. The little motivational words he tapes around the locker room, and playoff caliber, and the process, and putting jars of dirt in their locker room to defend their home field.
He got famous for that this week.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. But these things, and face it, if you don't get the takeaway, the bounce, the right call, you don't win. And if you don't win, and they're 2-5,
yeah, we're having a different conversation.
Now we're having a different conversation. Like,
now it's all rah-rah baloney.
It's like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
But you know what? When it's working and you capture it and you ride it, he's really got something going on here, and it's a lot of fun going into tomorrow night's game on national TV. The NFL Network. People are going to see what all the fuss is about. It's really, I just tell everybody, hey, we've been tailing it too. The biggest, the media, that he's knocking the cynic out of all of us, is just, hey, live in the moment, enjoy it, and ride it, because this really is is what coaches talk about, and when you see it happening, I mean, hey, let's face it, nobody was a bigger rah-rah guy than Rex Ryan. He really was, and you wanted to believe in him so badly, but everything he did, whether it was X's and O's or personnel decisions or game time, it just didn't work.
I got a lot of crap last year from Twitter and everybody else for calling out Rex for the night that he went to the World Series in Cleveland. The Bills were, I think, on a long week, a long week, right?
Put him on a bus.
There was an extra time period there, and he goes down to Cleveland and brought some coaches with him. And, I understand these guys have lives, and Rex certainly had a big life outside of football, but that's the kind of thing that Sean McDermott or Bill Belichick or a lot of other NFL coaches would never have dreamed of doing. Mm-hmm. And people say, well, the guy's got to have a life. I understand that, but Rex was making $5 million a year for the Buffalo Bills to coach this team, and I would think from September to December he could keep the focus right there, even though they had some extra time that week on the bye. Either it was the bye or they had a Thursday game that they had more time. Whatever it was, you just can't do that. And Sean McDermott, I can guarantee you, if it was the Cubs and Indians, Game 7 this year, there's no way he's going down there. And that's one of the things I think we're seeing that's different, I think that's about Sean. Focused guy.
Right, and that's the whole, we bust his chops on the focus thing, but that's what he's talking about. It's never, every coach comes in and you set the philosophy, you set the routines, the daily routines, and you never veer from what you've put in place.
Right.
This is in place, and you never veer from it, even when it may seem like, hey, we deserve a little time off right now. Well, no, we're going to stay right through here, and we're going to keep on grinding because, like you said, Sal, come on, you can't give us 4 months for the money you're paying.
And they do. They work all year. I get it. But these 4 months,
this is the time. Yeah.
Laser focused on what's happening. And I don't think there's time. If you want to spend time with your family at home, that's one thing. But taking a party bus to Cleveland just struck me as really foolish.
And now the flip side of that, Sal, if that party bus all of a sudden coalesced the team and they were really together and wow, they went out and they ran the table. Rex is a hero now because he's in tune with his team and he knows how to. He'd be getting all kinds of credit. That's how fickle it can be.
Wins and losses matter.
It's the bottom line.
Everything.
And because let's face it, with Sean, the W's have piled up here. They're doing great, but there's been penalty issues. There's been clock management issues.
Yep.
There's been a lot of things that haven't gone right.
Perfect so
but
far.
They've all been non-issues because you're winning, and it's great.
Yep.
I will say this about McDermott was great this week, and he's not he gives great answers. I love when he just talks about when he's mostly himself. That's what I love about the guy, is that he is himself. And when he was talking about the next man up thing, and he talked about how one of the things I will say that I've never heard before at any level is how he doesn't treat anybody as a starter and a backup. He says you're a football player. That was kind of a refreshing outlook. And then when players hear this, it's like, well, yeah, okay, I'm a football player. I'm a linebacker. I'm a running back. I'm not the third guy on the depth chart. I'm preparing like I'm as good as the other guy. And I guess it sounds a little silly, but it's all about confidence, feeling good, feeling respected. What do we all want at our workplace?
Well,
we want to be respected.
On game day, it's a point, too, because on game day, there's 46 guys active, and they really do all play. It may be a small role, maybe on extra point, protection, where you play 3 snaps a game. But when you look at the game sheet at the end of the day, the only guy typically for Buffalo who has not played in the game is Nathan Peterman, the backup quarterback. Everybody else has played in the game, not the inactives, obviously.
He's like the backup goalie.
The 46 men
get to play, but
the 46 men that are active, 45 typically play for the Bills. So you've got to have guys contributing all the time.
And I think it was Jordan Matthews yesterday was talking about it's also a lot of teams are very segmented: offense, defense, special teams.
Yeah, this was a good point.
And Matthews was talking about how he's created a culture where we don't feel like we're 3 separate teams. We feel we're one team, and they all know what the other. I'm not sure, maybe you a little bit know more about this, but I don't know how the week progresses, but they seem to have a little bit of knowledge about what the other units are doing.
Yeah, well, the thing is, a lot of those guys are contributing on special teams, both offense and defense.
Right.
They're all together, so it is an interesting dynamic over there.